Hey, this is Jonathan Hayes with Do All Outdoors. Real quick, we're just going to go over the assembly of our white ring trap thrower. Basically, we've got the body, we've got 4 legs, we've got the extension tubes for the bird cage, and we've got the mainspring, and pretty much that's it. So what normally I like to do is just start with it on its side, and the legs will just kind of mount into the base, and you've got 4 bolts that will tie into it. There's no nuts, these will just tighten up on their own. You can hand tighten them. I'd take a 9/16 socket to kind of make things go a little faster. It comes with some wrenches, but just go a little faster if you use a socket set or equivalent. And I'm just going to put the second nut in here for the second leg. That's pretty much got our stand together. Make sure it's nice and secure, and there's no wobbling at all. There's no washers or lock washers on that either, by the way. So now we got the body. We're looking at it. You want to move these out of the way. These are just your safety ring holders, and we'll get to that in a second. Okay, now we're going to move on to what I like to call the bird cage. These are our poles that are going to hold the birds. Indicated here on the top of the trap, you've got small poles and you've got large poles. The small poles go in front, and again, like I said, it's indicated on the top here. One important thing I like to point out is you don't want to get these too tight. Always just hand tighten them. If you get them too tight, they're gonna bind up, and your birds aren't gonna drop cleanly under your arm. So, got the fat poles in the back, small ones on the front. Hand tighten them. That's pretty much it as far as that goes. You got your horseshoe, which is going to hold all this together. You want the open end facing the back of the trap, and you've got these 4 screws provided. And you can just start by hand tightening those. No particular order. Again, you don't want these too tight either. So we're going to start off with just kind of hand tighten them. You have to manipulate them just a little bit to get the holes lined up. Okay, now that I've hand tightened, I'm going to take the wrench that's provided and maybe give them a half a turn again, so we're not too tight. You can feel everything kind of snug up and get pretty rigid, get pretty stiff there. Okay, the last step we want to take here is putting on the mainspring, and it basically hooks to the front of the trap on this rod right here. And in the back, it's going to connect with your spade bolt. You're going to slide it on there and insert it through the hole in the back of the machine. It's real simple. You've got a nut that's provided that we'll put on like that. And you're going to tighten that down. One kind of good indicator that you're at the tension that you need to be is we're going to probably want about 3 to 5 threads on the back of the machine, showing from the spade bolt beyond the bolt. You want to kind of put one hand on the spring to keep the spade bolt from turning. You can kind of feel the tension tightening a little bit. There we are. We're about 3 threads showing right there. That's going to get your bird 65 to 80 yards, no problem. Okay, the last thing we want to talk about now that we've got our trap together is some safety precautions we want to go over before you guys start shooting. First and foremost, your safety pin. It's going to be mounted to the back clamp of the trap on a little chain. You just want to make sure that it's when you're not using the trap at all times as this thing is inserted into that hole. That way it's going to prevent the arm from coming through when you don't want it to. It's going to stop it right here. And secondly, this is a safety ring. It's basically just a visual barrier around the radius of the arm, so you won't go beyond that, and so it's going to provide a safe distance for you to shoot, and that's going to clip into your front arms here and then come around and go into your back clamps. Pretty simple, self-explanatory stuff. In the back here, we've got your female plug for your foot pedal. It's just going to go in like this. This is 25 feet. If that's not enough for you, if you want to take it out to 50, 100, or even beyond that, you can. You can put an extension plug in here, run it out as far as you want to get yourself away from the trap a little bit, and plug this directly into the extension cord, and you're ready to shoot. And these are self-explanatory, your battery cables, positive and negative. And lastly, you're going to have an extra spring that comes with this. It's just an extra. It's not important that you put it on, so don't worry if you've got an extra spring left over. It's there if you need it. DVD that's going to cover everything that I've covered as far as putting the trap together. And if you need anything above and beyond that, you can go to doalloutdoors.com. It will also have this information, and it will also have a troubleshooting guide in case you should run into any problems. So you're ready to go, you're ready to shoot, so safe shooting.